Okay, there we go. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our last beautiful wellness revolution for December 2025. Wow, this year has gone by so fast, and I'm so excited to present to you our beautiful song. And as soon as we get into this, we have some beautiful guests. Randy-Jo, tell us about the names of the people that are presenting today.
I would love to. Welcome,
And I
everybody.
cue this
So
up.
glad you're here.
This
So,
is Randy-Jo.
Randi-Jo, yes. And Ursula's here too. Yes, awesome. We might have another one coming in too, but right for today so far, we have Sonia Burke-Smith, who's going to be here talking about healing through art. Oh, that just hits my heart. I love art and all this. And my mom always said, why don't you be an art therapist? It's like, Mom, I don't know. But now as I get older, it's like, why didn't I with the career I'm in right now, too? But I'm just excited to hear more from Sonia about this. And then also we have Ursula is here, Teresa Kerr, and she's here to speak about how the knowing how the knowing of past life insights fosters presents moment of wellness. So I'm really excited to hear more about that, the wellness, especially with the holidays right now. We have to take care of ourselves. And if we're not healthy, who can we help? And I just want to say thanks everybody for being here. And then hopefully we should have Christina Diskovitsky. I'm bad at pronouncing names, but she also has a healing power of story. Wow. It's like everybody does have a story. And how can we just use our story to flourish? So I want to take it away with our song. Thanks, Lise.
Okay, no problem.
There's a spark of fire in our hearts, a calling to heal where the journey starts. Mind, body, spirit together as one, a revolution rising like the morning sun. We've been searching for balance, seeking the light. Now we're stepping forward, ready to ignite. With every small change, the world moving new. Together we'll thrive, it begins with you. Join the wellness revolution, let's rise today. Breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Every breath, every step brings us closer still to a life that's
Come on, everybody, let's dance! Woo!
from stress to strength, from chaos to peace. In this revolution, our wellness will increase. We're grounded in science, guided by care, creating a vision that we all can share. It's a holistic journey, a path to renew. Together we'll rise, it begins with join the wellness revolution. Let's rise today, breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Every breath, every step brings us closer still to a life that's aligned with purpose and will. From stress to strength, from chaos to peace. In this revolution, our wellness will increase. We're grounded in science, guided by care, creating a vision that we all can share. It's a holistic journey, a path to renew. Together we'll rise, it begins with you. Revolution, let's rise today, breaking the barriers, lighting the way. With resilience and love, we'll build something new. The wellness revolution starts with you. Oh, the power of change is in your hands. Together we'll heal, together we'll stand. This is our time, this is our call, to rise above and give our all, or give our all. Step, let your journey begin. With every small choice, a new life within. The wellness revolution is calling your name. Together we'll rise and never be the same. Let me know if you'd like to add any suggestions or trust any of the lyrics.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yes.
Yes. Great song.
It is, especially for this time of the year, right?
Mhm.
It just wants to continue on here. Let me shut that off. Alrighty. So we started the Wellness Revolution because last year we started the year with doing some vision board exercises, and Randi-Jo and I says, heck, we don't want to stop this connection, and we want to keep accountable and bring entrepreneurs together to share their knowledge, especially healers from around the world, and then became this platform, a platform where you could share your story, your expertise, so that we could help heal the world together. And I'm so grateful for Randi-Jo, who comes all the way from the States. Do you want to introduce who you are and what you do? And then I can introduce myself.
Awesome. So you want my real job or my fun jobs?
Both. You're a
I'm Randy.
multitasker.
I do my best. I'm Randi-Jo Pieper, and I'm like Lise said, I am from Colorado, born in North Dakota, raised in Montana, and then moved down here to Colorado after graduation high school. So I've been here since '88. Gives you how old I am. So I've been here, and my path was still wanting to help people. My parents were my dad was a firefighter, my mom was a nurse, and my other family were teachers. So I still wanted to work in the community, but I didn't want to do all that. So I did a shadowing one day at high school afterwards with a probation officer. So, and I loved it. I loved what he had done. So it's like, it took me a while. It took me a few years to go to school. Life happens and all that. But long story short, I was able to go back in 2004 and get my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So I've been a state probation officer for the Colorado for 22 years now. And I just love it. Getting closer to retirement, but part of me is like, ooh, I want to retire, but I don't, But I think with Lise helping me here has helped me bring more of what I've learned with working with people that are at risk. I worked with youth for 13 years, and that was my favorite piece. I love working with youth. And now I work with the young adults from 18 to 26 that are also struggling. So it's just like, when Lise presented this to me, it's like, well, why not? Let's try it. Let's try it. It's already been, this is our 11th time. We didn't do it in January, but we started in February of this year. And it's just been so exciting to meet all these people from all over the world, literally, from India. And we've had, from Canada, we've had Australia, we've had all people in all walks of life. And if it wasn't for Lise introducing it to me and having just that strong will of let's do it. And so I'm just excited that I'm part of her journey as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randi-Jo. You're a rock star, my friend. I really appreciate you. And I myself am Lise Robinson. I come from Edmonton, Alberta. And the reason I'm a social worker of 36 years. And I used to work for the city of Edmonton, did a lot of community development work. And I've pioneered the Grief Warrior program because so many of the communities that I've worked with have been dealing with a lot of grief. And the Grief Warrior program looked at memorializing loved ones, looking at different healing modalities from around the world, and kickstarting life after loss. And just recently, I've incorporated something that will really change the landscape of businesses around the world, because now I've worked on the grief-informed charter for organizations so that they have more of a lens of how to deal with employees that are coming to work that are dealing with grief. So this is cutting edge information so that we can make a huge change. The other program that I offer is the Masters Community Building Program. A lot of communities that I know have people that do not want to leave their communities to go to an institution, because we know that a lot of people, especially in Indigenous communities that come into the cities, we often have women go murdered and missing. So I go into communities and I teach this program. It's a 12 module program. And instead of paying $40,000 and leaving their families and communities, they can do it right from home virtually, or I can go in and teach it to classes. So that's my goal and my dream, is to expand this whole opportunity to people around the world that want to activate healing in their communities. So with that, I'll pass it on back to Randi-Jo to introduce our first speaker, and then we'll get on with the day here.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce Sonia Burke-Smith. Really excited, and thank you so much for coming and joining us today and to give us your story about healing through art. And I want to just give the stage to you. And thanks, Sonia. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So my name is Sonia Burke-Smith. I am a visual artist, but I'm multidisciplinary. I do photography, I do filmmaking, whatever gets the story out there. So I'm a storyteller. And it all started with my own story, which was a story of trying to get into sobriety after many years of self-medication. At the same time that made that decision, I had a medical crisis. So I, of course, was facing having to deal with my drug of choice, legitimately. And I didn't want to go down that path again. I'd just gotten clean. I was 6 months in. So I found art haphazardly. A friend of mine brought me an adult coloring book, and back then they weren't very popular, but it was mandalas. And I colored it, and he himself was an artist. So then he started drawing pictures to me, and then I was just coloring them too fast because I found this place I could just find peace. The chatter stopped, everything stopped. So anyway, one day he just came in and he said, "You got to draw your own pictures." And I went, "I can't draw. I can only color." And I tried holding him hostage, all sorts of stuff. But the short story is, I did finally draw, and I had a long recovery. So I got into it. I wish I could make art like I did at the very beginning. I was just so into it. And through that, I ended up with a career. My very first painting of my best friend put it in a show, and I got hired by the Royal Conservatory of Music right off my first painting. To do a program called Learning Through the Arts. So my specialty is actually teaching core curriculum through using art. So from there, my career has really gone forward and blossomed with youth up until the fire. 2016, I lost my studio, lost my body of work, and had to start over in every direction, So 10 years out here coming up. I must say, what gets taken away gets given back if you're open to it in much more abundant ways. And maybe that's because you learn the value of things. So now as an artist, I'm tell more stories. I still work with youth and stuff, but I'm transitioning into, I look at art as it's the last free press, and everybody has a story. So I want to get those stories out because I feel that when you do it multifaceted, which is right now, I have an exhibit up at the Keano College here called the Art for Social Change, and where I took 4 participants who have had a mental health journey, and I had them make masks of their faces. We kept it anonymous. They built these beautiful, beautiful masks, and when I'm done, I'll stick some pictures in. And then I took their stories. I listened to their stories. I took 20 words to youth, and I had them pick 10 of what they would photograph to relate to the story. So rather than us going blah, 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 these photographs have tell the story. And then from there, I did collage and paintings based on other aspects I knew about the stories, and just gave some facts about, the fact that 40% of women are misdiagnosed with a mental illness, and it's really perimenopause. These are, 80% of suicides are men. And a lot of people don't realize there's 200 mental disorders. So what can we comfortably name off? Maybe 20, 30. Um, so I look at art as when you're telling other people's stories, including your own, there's such a healing quality to it. It's like a journal, but without the words, because it's just expressionism. Your colors, whether they're bright, or whether they're gloomy. There's so many ways to tell the story without telling the story in words. And I think we've kind of gotten a little blind to that. We're over, like, when I talk to people about mental health, they think, oh, there's all this help. You just take a pill and you're cured. And, they don't realize that there is a lot more to it than what the press or the media decides to tell you about. So these stories were very, very personal. And we took over a lot of different subjects in that and I did it multi-generational. So I have a senior, I have a middle-aged woman, I have a young male adult, and then I have a young female adult who is just like, she's 22, so that people could see that it could happen at any time. And the real conversation that I want to have with my artwork now is prevention, because we do not do enough. We do a lot on the reactionary side, but like living in Fort McMurray, we do not have the access to professional services like a lot of other communities. This is sort of it's a work town. So you come here to work. Even though we have families settling here and making it their home, we lag behind services greatly. So when we're talking services and what we can provide, it has to come from the community, and it usually comes from grassroots. So that's kind of my story. I use art to talk about many subjects. I prior to this one, I did a big show on heroes and villains. How we look at who we look at for heroes, and I wanted to go beyond the Marvel tunnel. And so we did an all age show, and it was really, really interesting to have people bring forward their cultural stories, because we all have folklore in our heritage. And so where did these stories come from, and what did they serve? And so kind of looking as well, we did a workshop on how we can write new stories, new folklore, use the imagination to help people without such a direct punch in the face saying, hey, here's the hard work, right? More of a gentle, like the deer teaching, a very gentle way of, hey, does this move you? Does this touch you? Do you want to explore more healing? Because sometimes I know with myself, I was in denial about my wounds. I was in denial. I just soldiered on, and a very stubborn French background. So it wasn't until midlife, like that, it came to me like, wow, okay, this is not normal, and I couldn't plug the dam anymore. So I did get my healing really came through in 2016 after the fire, because I did a cross Canada trip and I spent time with elders. So I had elders come and get me from BC that I was, conversing with and had met up here. They came and put me out on a vision quest right away, and I went in Sundance that year. Um, and so I believe that we need that true connection to nature. And in our illusionary, fast-paced world with all this technology, it can be a lot for people, and especially our young people, and especially after COVID. So I kind of look at my next hurrah till, I'm 60. So I go, okay, what's my role now? My role is to keep art alive and to promote it as a healing tool, and to remind people to tell their stories, because in that telling of the stories is how things are born and help is given.
Fabulous.
Wonderful,
Thank
Sonia.
you
Wonderful.
so much, Sonia. I can connect with you on that fire because I was at the other end in Edmonton and we were receiving a lot of the people coming. And I
Mhm.
know that art was a significant part of the healing journey for people because what are kids going to do in all this time, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
thank goodness there was artists around to help with all of that and also elders and,
Well, actually, they didn't do a lot of stuff with the kids, which is something that, I had a chance just recently to talk to the director that
yeah.
was working the Red Cross up here. And we did a project called the Forever Forest, where I brought elders into the school and they talked about the fire from the forest's perspective. And then we built these metal forests to do a check-in with the kids depending on how they did their forests, right? Because nobody did, other than a survey, nobody did anything with the youth. And, there was a playground put up, and that was it, go out and play. But I had a prior experience knowing that, hey, having lost a place in Kelowna to fire, I had a bit of insight that most people didn't have. It was my second big fire, and so I knew that through my children that it could be kicked up again, and that it was a lurking giant about that safety thing and losing all your stuff.
I'm just going to
Because,
move because my battery's going low here. Just a moment.
yeah, no problem. No
Sorry about
Thank
problem.
you so
that.
Julie.
I
much.
thought that
That's
plug-in
okay.
was working.
You know
Yeah.
what? You talk about art, but I would like to see one picture.
Yes, share.
Okay.
Yes.
Most of
Suzanne
it's
is very
packed away.
creative.
Most of
Yeah.
it's packed away. So
Plugged
you'll have
in.
to bear with me here. I have a little bit up in my bedroom,
You sit
but
here.
I'll show you what my little studio looks like if I
Yeah.
can turn my camera here.
I love that.
Okay, my camera doesn't want to turn. Why?
Yeah.
Okay, how does it?
There. Well, that's your
I don't want to leave. Okay.
be on the bottom right, like a little sort. Maybe not because you're on Zoom. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you turn
Okay,
your
so I'm
phone
going to
around?
turn my camera around. This is my
Perfect.
at-home studio, and you can
Okay.
see it's a mess because I've been busy creating.
Hmm.
I'll
Yep.
put some pictures in the chat, but this is my style here. A lot of what I've been doing in the past 5 years. During COVID, I really got into the divine feminine. So this is one of my pieces I'm really super proud of.
Nice.
Wow. Beautiful.
Nice.
So in all my paintings, I have water. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
I always put water because as feminine, we are the keepers of the water and the
Yeah.
life water. And also to remind people to be mindful of their water, to, look at, yeah, see, all my paintings are kind of packed up. I always pack them up because then you don't, if you have too much out, you get uninspired, right? Because it's kind of like,
Yes.
oh. So if
Yep.
it's put away, each project I put it away and I try to find a home for it within the community, whatever the subject matter is. But
Mhm.
I will pop in the chat like the current show, which I'm really,
Huh?
really super proud of.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you for
Thank
allowing me to
you. Thank
speak.
you, Sonia. Thank you. Anybody have any questions for her?
Well, thank you for what you do. I think it's phenomenal. Artwork is such a healer, and I know when I was going through a lot of grief, it was really my medicine. And
Yes.
there's an expert artist right here, Ursula. She's going
Nice.
to talk about
Hi. Oh wow, we
her.
should we
I
should
love it.
connect because I was just telling Lisa, we need to do what I call cross pollination. We need artists from other areas to come to us, and
Yeah,
vice versa, because Fort Mac has a real not so great story sometimes, right?
I know. I lived there.
And yeah, so I'd love to share the other side of it and what a vibrant multicultural community we truly are. And we have some amazing people from all over the world here that
Mhm.
are, coming with great stories and wisdom worldwide.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much. I just wanted to share a little tidbit. So when you said about the masks, doing
Mm-hmm.
that, I had one girl that went into rehab and she did a mask, like it was actually her face because they put the macrame, whatever they put over their face to make it
Plaster, yeah.
her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she painted it. To this day, I still have it. It has been, I want to say 10 or 12 years ago. She gave it to me and she wrote her story and it's taped in the mask in the back. So she gave that to me for thanking her for listening to her and sending her to get help. And it's just like, you know what? I just plant the seeds. The people that
That's right. That's right.
they're the
That's what
ones
we
that
are.
water, like you said, water and
Yeah.
flourish. All I'm there is to help plant the seeds. But I want to just say that's close to my heart. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'll put those pictures in the chat here and then I gotta go. Thank
Awesome.
you,
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining
Okay.
us today.
All right.
Chat later.
Okay,
Oh,
peace.
so our next guest speaker is Ursula Teresa Kerr. So from Canada. Love it, the island, right? Is that what you guys call it? The island up there? Is that how you, what do you call it?
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. Okay. Love to be up there one day.
Oh,
Visit.
yeah, it's the most beautiful place in Canada.
Oh
Not
my
to be
gosh.
selfish,
Oh,
because
wow.
when I am originally from Poland. I was born in Poland and emigrated in a very legal way, sorry, to Canada, and it took a year for me to be in refugee camp in Austria. I had to have my background check medically and criminally, and I had to even pay back my ticket to Canada entirely. So, but I was very grateful because this country gave me a chance, and what I was running from was, as you can easily guess, communism. So, unfortunately, some of the resentment or echoes are still there. You can't run from certain things. You just have to stay where you are and make a change.
Yep.
So I was my story starts about age of 5 when I started to see things that other people couldn't see, and for me that was a shock. That was actually the reason why I started to hide it, because I didn't want to explain to people and be called crazy. And so I always would be around people and I would say, oh, you have something, as a child, 5-year-old. I said, your liver is rotting, to my grandmother, who actually died of liver disease. Unfortunately, later on, that was on my father's side. And so it was rolling with me. But what really kept me safe was I started to write stories because I was having a very vivid dreams about age of 10 to 15. Now I know they were flashbacks from my past lives, because we are not only right now and right here, we were everywhere and many, many times. So this was my, how you call, the island of sanity. I wrote and I lived those stories, and when I came to Canada, that's when I felt like I came back home, because lots of my lifetimes were actually on North American continent, and well, Japan, India, and other places that I recover some of my past lives through my own self-hypnotic states, but sometimes through the clients I work with. And we have a tendency to cluster and come back together because we teach each other things, we help each other with things. And so, like me and my friend Lise, we've been many times in the lifetimes, and that's why we had that instant connection. So understanding that answers and guidance is not outside, it's inside, and tapping into it is so much easier not to stumble and not to fall. So talking about my history, I am a textile engineer because I guess in spite of all what I saw I wanted to prove to the world that I am right here in the 3D, and that's the only thing it is, but yet the world was showing me different things. And so I accepted that at some point, I guess about age of 20. I started to study at the time because I wanted to be in this real world so that I am not crazy and I can do whatever I want. I was always historian. I was always, I love Polish language. I was very good in physics and chemistry, but math wasn't my strong thing because they told me, the teacher told me actually that, I was too dumb, only boys could learn the math. And I wanted to prove her wrong, so I did. And so I completed 5 years of engineering, textile engineering, and that was my desperate way of staying right here and right now. And life wouldn't let me. So we met Liz at the Sweat Lodge because I was always fascinated with North American Indians, though I couldn't find any books or movies or anything that would be explainable source for me to know those things. And I know that the source was actually my own existence. So I worked through, well, my art, my writing, but also through what I could see and others couldn't, and I could help them not to fall and stumble and fall. And so I began to work with people very early, probably in my 20s and about now 40 some years. And then hypnotherapy and regression, age therapy and regression and past life therapy. And I could see the incredible healing on people that they finally recognize who they were, recognize that whatever they experienced did not make them who they are. It helped them on the way, but did not define who they were now. And that knowledge, that understanding of why we are here and what is our mission and how we can make it better, it feeds my soul because I love people who were broken and who were depressed and who were in drugs or alcohol and dependency or other ones. People can be addicted to anything, shopping, sex, anything. And they are setting themselves free and they are moving on, they are building their lives. And I see that they open their wings and they actually understand that there is plenty of wind underneath them. I love people, I love seeing their joy because that increases my frequency. My heart is happy when other people are happy. So I never understood competition. I always understood and definitely was fully convinced that we need to cooperate as human beings, no matter where we are from and what nation, what language, because we are one under Creator. So the story is that I express myself through lots of my paintings that I've done in Canada that were actually painting of native portraits, architecture, well, whatever was coming. I didn't choose the art chose me. So the day I was painting something else was kind of steering me in the right direction. And sometimes that gracious and way of surrender and not trying to think that we steer things, but just being part of those things. The stream of life takes us where we need to be. So instead of looking at life as failure or attempts that discourage us, I looked always as something that motivates us. So obviously, maybe if I didn't get this job, there was another job better. And then just letting it go rather than beating yourself up because you fail. Well, look at it like you took another lesson. Something was shown to you that is very important. And once you start looking at yourself from the perspective of being propelled forward rather than punished, that changes everything. And as children, we absorb everything. We are learning by observing. So if something is missing from our childhood, it breaks you, and then you continue as a broken individual through your lifetimes. Doesn't matter how old you are. I had people who were, as a clients, 82 years old, and I work with as young as 9-year-old through the process of. Often there are some other things, not just our memories, but sometimes somebody else's memories that are attached to us by either spiritual attachment or recycling or energetic recycling of events. And so we can be caught in a loop, but we can free ourselves from that loop. So I love art, I love people, I I love sense of humor because I believe laughter is the best medicine. So when you are in a bad places, and I've been in quite a few, I laughed. And that laughter got me out, because when you laugh, your brain produces dopamine and hormones that help you think clearly rather than going into panic mode. And also, I figured out why I was sick through my life, why my asthma was actually psychosomatic for me in big part, and changing certain ways, like way of thinking, changing way you eat, changing environment helped me to be totally free and cured from it. And I suffered many years. I was sick for 46 years. You name it, I had it. So, but I am here, and I'm here healthier at 67 than I was when I was 30. So we can all do this. We just sometimes need a little bit guidance, someone who will show you the road. Every road we take, you have to take yourself, but it's good when you know which direction is the right direction. So nobody can fix us. We can fix ourselves just because we finally start loving what was created, and it's us. So gratitude is one of the things I live. I do meditation, I do prayer. I did 7 years of fasting and vision quest. And it felt like I completed certain things. I walk back and forward to see how rich I was inside. And so I never look at anything that life punished me. I was, but then it wasn't working for me. So I said, okay, where do I go from here after this kick I got? So sometimes we just have to reset our own way of thinking and reacting. Where reacting is never good. We have to act. We have to let go of the stress and say, okay, I'm taking deep breath, and I know God will show me where I'm supposed to be. And accepting it. Acceptance is the surrender, but it doesn't mean you are giving up. It means you are actually starting to look clearly what was pointed to you, rather than fighting back against it. So having my friend here, we had a great past lives together, but we are still here. And that recognition, and I always tell people, feel it. When you go into place and you feel unsettled, listen to it. It's something is not right with that place, or something draws you somewhere. You walk and you see a stranger and they seem to be so familiar, so close. I say follow it. That's when the answers are coming from. They are not coming from the outside. And I always encourage, listen to the voice inside before you listen to the voices outside. That was the reason why I wrote the book. This is my third book, because I couldn't reach too many people. And since the book was published, I had customers from Toronto who came to work with me and change their lives, or Victoria or other places that I wouldn't reach otherwise. Somebody got a book as a present. So I say word, or either spoken or written, are reaching, written actually can reach more people than individual personal interactions or meetings. So I say to everyone, no matter where you are, never give up, because there are certain steps that God asks you to do and go through to actually grow and become your better self. So I don't know what else I can say.
Well, thank you very much, Ursula. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to ask you, past lives and wellness. Why is it so important that people learn about their past lives in order to live their best lives? That's my question.
Okay, that's a question. Well, because every lifetime added a layer of experience and wisdom. So when we add all these layers together, imagine the sourcing that you have. You are everyone you've ever been, but we had lives that maybe not too proud. You are not too proud of, but that the only thing that they show you that you progress, that you grew, And that's all that matters. It's not about being judged or judging, it's about learning. And once you have that simple philosophy, a life becomes so much easier. I went through accident when I was 26 years old that broke my spine. That's when I experienced that other part of us that most people never experience, being out of your body and looking at that body down and watching and seeing details that you would not know happen. I saw men saving my life, and I saw women stealing from my purse. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at it now because it was in a way sad and funny, but also seeing this and feeling that if I go, because going was at some point easier because of this horrific pain, I thought of my son, and I thought if I go, my son will have no mother, and that's what brought me back. And I guess God knows I had some more mission to fulfill on this earth, come to this country, and do what I'm doing. Actually, what I'm doing, I'm living every moment, because life is in a moment, is not tomorrow.
So tell us a little bit about your book. What is it called? Where can we access it?
Okay, my book title is Spirituality Not for Sale, My Life as a Psychic. But spirituality not for sale means that we all have it. We all are spiritual, that we don't have to go and search for it or pay to have it. Basically, we have to just realize and how incredible it is, how truly big we are. We are the elements of four. We are body, we are mind, we are emotion, and we are spirit. And understanding that helps you to understand your full potential. And that's the most wonderful thing. So there are cases with which I worked through this country for many, many years. Not all, probably half. But also my own life is woven into some of the text to explain why things were unfolding the way for me, and why I was who I was, and the events that took place. Also helps people to identify sometimes their symptoms. The symptoms might be physical, but the disease in the mind is disease in the body. So understanding that unease and looking in without fear what I'm gonna find. It's better to find whatever it is, skeleton in a closet or empty closet. It frees you and sets you on your way without load, without past. That can affect you very negatively. I know I've worked with, abused children who grew up to be or either abusive or abused adults. And so we have to remove that. We have to free ourselves and say, no, this is how I wasn't created. I was created to love, create, share, be authentic. And that's what my message in the book is. And helps understand that there is help. Like, I have these symptoms. I don't understand why the voice in my head tells me to do some terrible things to my child. I know I love my child, but knowing what was behind it and stopping it and changing it, it's to me is a very fulfilling when I see people, their lives changed.
Any questions from anyone? So you can get this book on Amazon. One of my stories is in there with Ursula, and we had to change the names in order to protect
Privacy of
our
my
privacy and
clients,
stuff. Yeah, because it's really, really intense. And some of them have been like, like prevention of murders for some of the people that were in there, or, really incredible stories where sometimes we don't know why we're so sick and why we feel so down. And when we see certain people that they trigger us so much, and sometimes that's a past life regression issue that needs to be addressed. So, yeah, it's important that people step through those narratives and help through them. And I know that there's been possessions and entities and, breaking through all of that. I know that we've worked with elders to help some people to get through their darkest moments in life. So that's why it's so important to help people to thrive and live their best lives.
That's right. That's the reason why we are here.
Yeah.
To unite, to help each other, and retain your authenticity, not to be afraid to speak, not to be afraid of be who you are, because you are a beautiful being, all of you, all of the humanity. So I guess I had to go that far across continents to be able, and of course I am an English Polish translator, so I translated the book in Polish, but I still waiting to be formally published in Polish language. But
Nice. Well, thank you, Ursula. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I took notes here and stuff too. A couple things that really stood out for me was start loving what was created. And it is us, right? It says something like that. And it's like, we don't start there, do we? We help everybody else, but we don't help ourselves. Like I started at the beginning of this webinar, it's like, if we're not healthy, who can we help? Right. And that really hit home again for me. I appreciate that. And then also the dis-ease in mind is dis-ease in the body, not disease, but it's dis-ease, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So I really noticed that too, especially with a lot of people that are just not feeling well, you know, the joints are hurting or whatever it is, you're wondering what is going on, but it all starts.
That's right. And I've seen people dying, like I have helped people to reverse their cancer, and yet there were some that I couldn't help because I call cancer the disease of anger.
Mm-hmm.
Society became so angry that we actually started to reject basic things, that there is a sunshine, that is something everywhere that was created for us is beautiful. Looking at someone and saying, you know what, I love your coat, you look beautiful today. These are free things. These are so easy to give. And that's when we start. But we have to feel good within and say, okay, why? God doesn't make mistakes. So if I am here, God put me here. So the only mistakes were because I didn't understand what he meant for me to do and what he meant for me to be. So once you realize that, it's in my book, I put, if you are on your knees, how many you can lift from theirs? That's exactly another format what you just said. We have the strength when we reach to it. And what we have to be, because we send energetic information, we don't have to speak. Our energy, when we are in a good state of mind, good state of spirit, we project that at least 15 feet from us. So if we are strong, people come, they feel good in our presence. But when we are negative and we have nothing good to say about anything, these kind of people repel people. Mm-hmm. So we have to start working right within, and then we can share it out. We cannot give what we don't have.
True, very true. And I know the Advent that I'm following this year is about be still and listen to God's whispers and just be still. And that's hard, especially in the chaos going on. It's like, how do you just sit there for 3 minutes and just focus on what is going, meditation and stuff. So when you say that, it's just like reassurance too. So I appreciate it so much.
What helps to quiet the thoughts when you are trying to be still, it's learning how to breathe properly. So when you start counting your breaths and you start practicing conscious breathing, your attention will be just there. Everything else will go. It's amazing. Those are the inhale, hold, and exhale. So, and those are, that breathing can help you to create new neural pathways. Because often when we want change, but we have habits, fears from the past, we are falling back onto those habits because brain always will go to the path of least resistance because it uses so much energy that we have in our bodies. So we need to retrain our brain and build it, let it create new stories, the clean stories where that manifestation, when that dream can go and settle on. And to me, it is the most incredible because I take 3 of the basic breaths and I am in without trying to make the crows of thoughts going away, because it is a challenge for people, especially when people learn to meditate and to be quiet, to be mindful. It's very important that first what you learn is the breathing. And I can give you the numbers of breaths that actually help you with that. just shortcut to it. The first breath that creates new neural pathways is breath that you inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. You can put those numbers and start practicing. Then
Thank you.
that brain, that way of breathing will create new neural pathways. Second breath is 6, 2, 6, 4, 2. It means you inhale on the 6, hold 2, and exhale at, hold at 4 and exhale at 2. It's a fast exhale. And then that will cement the new neural pathway in your brain. The third breath, when actually is designed to unfold the new dreams, the manifestations of what you want, it's 8, 4, 8. And then the last one, to cement all of it together. So when you are manifesting something, is actually not falling back into the doubt or failure or fear. It's actually moving clear path forward, is 10, 10, 10. So you breathe in 10, hold 10, and exhale 10. You inhale through your mouth, exhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. But exhaling in the long term, I can help you what is very helpful thing. You make a noise, make the lips, fold your lips so that the voice, so you actually...
Show us.
Okay.
She'll show us.
Yeah. Because you are exhaling faster, you can't keep that exhale, and that length of the exhale is very important. So for me, my body is going into immediate deep sleep. My brain is sleeping, but my consciousness is fully active, and it's the most amazing state. It takes a little practice that you do it in the morning when you're just waking up. You are still in that lower brain waves. So you do take maybe 2 of first breath, 2 of the second, and then evening, the same thing before you go to bed. So you are basically creating new neural pathways so that when you think of something exciting, something that you want, actually it doesn't fall on your, oh crap, I failed before, it didn't work before, but it will work because you are now focusing on exactly what you want and not on what you don't want or fear that you fail. And those are the little shifts in the way we put things. And like I said, the same mountain, you are looking at it from a different side. So instead of climbing the steepest one, go around. There is easier path that God created for you.
Love it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to get your book. So I'm excited to get your book and learn more about this. And yeah, as we get older too, it's like, okay, how can I help this and help?
Well, I tell you, when I was in hospital at the age of 19, and 2 nurses had to walk with me because I had such bad asthma, I was collapsing. That was very bad. And at the time I found out that I had a heart defect. And then I found out later on that I had 3 kidneys. And all this was unrolling. I'm thinking, why I am so screwed up? But then I understood, because guidance through certain higher spirits, they told me I needed extra filtration system, because when you work with people, you absorb things from people. And I am letting it go through and remove it from my system, my body. I am using universal energy. I am not passing mine. And then I have to, because you are filtering it through yourself. And that's when I understood. I was very grateful that the God gave me extras. But anyways, you can make anything the point of the day. Just be happy because you are here. And
Yes,
that gratitude, not forgetting to be grateful, not forgetting about, okay, I am here. Thank you for these friends, for my family, for the food I have on my, and this actually create abundance by thanking for things that you feel they are beautiful. Maybe they are not all there, but you are actually sending the right message. Universe and God listens. It's just how we express it. For sometimes people say, well, I want to get it this way. No, don't focus which way, because God knows which way you're going to get it. But just focus on what you want and why, and that it helps you, helps through you, helps others to understand.
Oh, I was just going to say, I did see your cover of your book. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
It's coming
Love it.
coming into singularity, into the chakra of love, the fourth energy, the higher energy source.
We put the link in the caption in the chat here so people can grab it.
And do you want to share what else is put in the link to there, Lise?
Well, I want to ask, is there any more questions for
Yeah.
Ursula before we go to that?
You can always text or
Yeah.
email, and I will be glad to answer.
Questions, yeah. Alrighty, well, this pretty much concludes everything, but I wanted to speak to you about the next little thing that I am gifting to all of you. It's exercises for activities that you can do, 10 inexpensive winter holiday activities that bring family fun and healing. So discover the heartwarming ways to celebrate the season together without spending a fortune. A lot of families struggle during this time of year. We don't want to stress them out anymore. And that's why I created this, is so that you have something that you can share and get new ideas so that you can keep your family well during the season. And with that, I just want to announce that January, the first week of January, for our Wellness Revolution, we're going to be doing vision boards. We're going to get into back into the miracle magic and get into that. But before we close off, I'd like to hear from everybody. What did you get out of today? And if you have anything you want to say about 2025 going into 2026, you know, something about you and what it is that you want for, or what you see for your future, or what you hope for. What did you get out of today? And closing off 2025 to transitioning to 2026. So who wants to go first? I'm going to hit up Suzanne in Vancouver. Introduce yourself to the group and tell us who you are and what it is that you got out of today, my dear.
Okay, so yes, I love these classes that you have with us and all the different speakers and how you really inspire us. And so I get so much from everybody, but especially now with, I wrote down, you know, that you just like hold the breath and then do that. And to do that, you know, that set of those numbers in the morning and at night. And, you know, I guess everything is just focus on what you want. And so just even designing what I'm going to do to help people set up for Airbnb in Vancouver is my new beginning, is just be brave and take new action steps and know that when I wake up in the morning, I'll ask, what do I do next? Tell me what I will do confidently. And then I just really don't let my critical mind, because I'm such a perfectionist, have me do all these things around. No, just let that be. Let's go swimming. Let's go have some fun. And
You bet, girl.
I meet you live, all of you.
Thumbs up.
Love you, Suzanne. Thank you so much. And what do you look forward to in 2026, girl?
Well, you know what? I did, even just when you have that quiet time, I had a whole day yesterday. So I say to myself, have one day unplanned, because that is when you don't know what you'll do next. You grab that book, or you're going to declutter here or do whatever. And I guess what I really thought was, yes, when I will travel, what will be my time off? And I do have a calling that I will go to France, because my past life really was part of that in so many ways. And so it's just my goal for next year is set what I will like to do, and even the financial direction that I can do it, because otherwise month by month will go by and I won't really, achieve another the year that I really want to achieve. So I really say this next year is going to be incredible for every one of us. It is an earth time change with
Yep.
new beginnings. And so what we've all gone through, and oh my God, yeah, 6 months ago, and all the people just being so terrible to what I did for them, but that's okay. I moved on to the next step, which I'm really happy about. So I'm saying set your goals and have a great, great, great next year. One step at a time.
Thank you, Suzanne. Alrighty, how about Jean?
Thanks, Lise, and thank each of you. Apologize for being late. I didn't catch all of the speakers, but your last speaker was very intriguing in that I do breathing to relax when I find myself overly anxious, but I never heard it spoken the way you did. And my brain is saying, maybe all of those little aches and pains and creaks, and maybe focusing breathing in this way can make you a better person health wise. So I really appreciated your message, and I will be looking at getting your book. As far as 2025, it has been a year filled with gifts, and some of those gifts was wrapped up in thunderstorms and hurricanes, but it nevertheless a gift. And 2026, my word for 2026 is connection, and it is making connection with people, with things growing into where I need to be and helping others to grow where they want to be. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you. That's
Thank you.
awesome. Awesome. I
Susan,
know
thank you so much.
Sonia can't speak. Thomas, can you speak or are you driving? I think he's driving.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think, this kind of wraps up the day. How about you, Randi-Jo? Any
You
last
see it,
words?
don't you? He's like, I'm excited. I want to share.
Yeah, I want you
All
to
of us,
share.
all
You
of us.
share, girl. You go.
But I'm just excited because Suzanne brought up the word that I want to use for 26. Is I started working on it a couple weeks ago, and my word is brave. It is going forward and to, it's like, how is this going to fall into place? But when Ursula said the breathing and everything, and just to listen, and me listening to the Advent this year too, the Advent stuff that I've been listening to every morning has really put into place. And I think that's a piece of the puzzles is the Advent that I'm messages what I'm following, plus Ursula saying the breathing piece of it and how to the meditation, and eventually you'll get in there, and then the brave, it's going to get me there to go forward because I know I can do it, but part of me is like, are you worth it? I know I'm worth it. I know I'm worth it, but it's like, okay, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? But I think that is where I'm really excited about. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. And I get that way, just like Sonia too. It's like this ADHD or whatever it is. I don't, just excitement that I get when I want to do something passionate. I get very excited. I use my hands, you can tell. And it's just like, I'm looking forward to what 2026 brings. 2025 has been a learning for me. It's been a learning of different modalities, everything. It hasn't been, I've been very blessed. Our family's been blessed. We've had one of my sister-in-law, my niece-in-law, I call her. She had breast cancer, and she is now pretty much healed from the neck down, and she has just a couple lesions in her brain, and they're still working on that. So it's like this breathing technique, I definitely want to work with her on that. And she's very faithful, very faithful. And so I think just sharing her with this too. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. And it just filled my heart each month this year. is I look forward to this once a month and meeting different people. So thank you so much.
Something.
Okay, Ursula wants to add something.
Also, I have used hypnosis for myself, or self-hypnosis, or meditation, or breathing for controlling pain. And I've used it for others and I've used it for myself. So what I do during the time when I am actually counting my breath and your focus is just there, the more oxygen you deliver, the more bad anaerobic bacteria dies, the more your blood, red blood cells disconnect from each other. They are fluid, they flow more. And then I imagine the white light. Let's say I have a shoulder pain, and that light, I see that white light hitting my shoulder, and moments later, the pain is gone. That's how powerful we are when we are doing it correctly. And breathing is, I always would tell my clients, breathing is a secret of life and wellness. So use it because it will help you to, for first, stay calm. Calm you down, because when you are in a calm state, your mind is able to see the options and solutions. When you are in a panic mode, your breath is shallow, your shoulders are tense, your neck. When you let go of the panic, and that breathing is the best to keep it under control, then you say, okay, I can handle it. There is some other solution and I can already see it. You know, what we see is less than 5%. What we don't see is 95%. Let the world, universe, creator to give you what you want through much better way than. And I tell you just one short story. There was a client of mine, and she said, well, my car is breaking down and I need to get new car or better car. And I said, so, just manifest it. So I gave her certain tricks and things that she could do. And next thing what happened, she lost her job. She was hoping that she's gonna have a raise, so that will give her extra money to buy a car. And I said, you know what you were really focusing is not how you're gonna get the car, but that's what you spend all your attention, except for wanting the car, seeing yourself driving in that car. And so what happened, I said, God gives you always solutions, just you have to be calm to see them. And so she started to figure, she said, I failed. I said, no, you didn't fail. You just did things sometimes off the main right track. So she said, okay, I just go to a dealership, I sit in a car, pretend I'm trying to buy it, and you smell the new car and you see yourself in it, almost with it driving on a highway. And she says, what the heck, I don't care, something is gonna happen. Well, she was on a bus stop, and she saw a man who was waiting for no train, and he left the briefcase on. And he just rushed, he was on the phone, he rushed into the train, and the briefcase stayed. There was no one else. So not knowing what to do, she took that briefcase, opened it, and checked the identity. And she phoned the guy, and she says, sir, I don't know if I have a right number, but you left. And he says, oh my God, I didn't even know, there is a contract in that briefcase for $6 million. And I said, I have a meeting tomorrow. I was going crazy. I almost got heart attack. So she says, when can I drop it? So she dropped it off. And guess what happened? Two things. She got a new job because she was late from the other one. And he actually gave her money for the car. You see, don't focus on how you're going to get something. Just focus on what you want. And Creator will bring it. And I was there. I know how it works, because when I started to write my first book, my first historical novel on subjugation of North American Indians, you know how many people here told me, oh, you are a second-hand speaker. You came here with no language, and in 3 years you think you're going to write a book in English language. It's not possible. Canadians cannot do it, and you think you will? My standard answer was like a stubborn donkey. I said, maybe Canadians are too dumb. Watch me. And that motivated me so much that when my book, and I had that book in my head, I lived on inside the pages, and I saw the illustration, and I saw the book cover that was made by, and I tell you, the way it unfolded, I went to have hypnotherapy and readings. I flew to Ottawa, and I landed because the woman I was staying with, she said, I will book so many people for you. So I arrived, I spent the last of my money on that plane ticket. No, so it was $368. I will never forget the price. And I had rent coming in 2 months. So I am sitting in her kitchen as she was going to work in the morning. She says, oh my God, I feel so bad. I have no single booking for you. And I remember she left and I was sitting there and thinking, what the hell? What the hell I did? I wasted my money and I'm here. And then I took the few breaths and the voice inside my head tells me, there is a reason why you are here. So as I hear the voice, I look across on a countertop, there is a yellow pages. So I go like a zombie, I pick it up and I wanted to open and I wanted to look for publishers. Well, the book falls down, opens on a page with publishers. I took 4 names, I called, and I am not good on the phones. I called first one, out of order, not in a business. Second one was Christian publication. Third one was instructions and book of technical books. And the fourth one, the man answers. And we start chatting like we have known each other for 1,000 years. I give him synopsis of my novel, and he says, you know, I'm going for holidays for 2 weeks, but I am, I want to look at because I like what you are saying. So when you go back, send it. As I close that phone, I'm sitting and I feel like I am dizzy. And all of a sudden my phone rings and my friend who I stay with, she says, oh my God, they're gonna fire me. I said, why? What did you do? She said, nothing, but every damn call is coming for you. She booked 68 people. I work from 5 in the morning till sometimes 2 at night, no breaks. I lost 7 kilograms because it was so intense. But, and it's all in my book, all the cases. So that's how, and my book came up exactly the way I sent my manuscript 2 weeks later. He calls me a week later and he says, I love the book and I'm gonna publish it. And so next thing I know, I mentioned somehow in a conversation that I see the illustration inside. A week later, he says, you know, I think it's a good idea. So everything unfolded. That book lived in my head. And then my ex-husband brought it after my 7th vision quest. And he says, this is yours. And I started to cry. That's how manifestation works.
Beautiful.
And I want to give it to everybody. Do not take your eyes off the road. Stay there. No matter what people say, listen to that voice. That's the guiding voice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Sorry. I just want to mention that Sonia did have a message for us. And I'm sorry I'm listening, but she can't talk. But she's grateful for meeting everyone. And in 2026, my collaborations with other women look forward to healing the world. And as for myself, you know, I just feel like unity is my word for 2026. And something came to me like, it's like heal the world, make it a better place for you and me. You know, those are strong words that came from Michael Jackson. However people think about him, I just think that that was a miraculous statement. And that's exactly what I'm sticking to for my vision for the future, that people are dying all over. And I was very close to that. I had a close call in September with my gallbladder and the stones coming out. It just about exploded inside my body. So don't take your health and your life for granted. There are people dying, and if you care enough for the living, make it a better place for you and for me. Calling for unity and actions against suffering around the world. And that's what we're here for. My dream for each and every one of you for 2026 is that we can all come together and join hands, even emotionally and spiritually,
Yeah.
and change the world because people need hope.
Mhm. Hope. Yep.
We are the hope for the future. We are the change makers. We are the healers. And each of your story matters. So in closing today, just take a moment and think about your why in your life, your purpose, and know that you are a miracle. And with that, we're just closing it down today. And I wish you all the best in 2026, my friends.
Thank you, everyone. God bless. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you once again for all of you attending today.
Thank you.
Thank you.